Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. As you can see this comment here from that was made on one of my videos about Filipino women must be smart to choose Western men, especially if they have had a bad marriage background or divorce. They're talking about the men that these Filipinas are choosing. This was in a video about not all foreigner Filipino marriages work out. So I wanted to highlight there because it's one of many. This person says that they were mistreated in their relationship, and that's why I want to avoid that by helping guys know what I'm doing to, I think, will make my marriage work, to my Filipino wife that I married back in 2015. By the way, please subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea. I talk a lot about relationships and marriage, especially to a woman from the Philippines. But one thing she can do, if she's careful, is to avoid getting involved with the wrong person. Now, obviously, if somebody, let's say they're just not a nice person, maybe they've caused some troubles in their previous marriages, they're not going to come out and put that in their dating profile, of course. And if the Filipino doesn't ask to have his past brought up, then he's likely not to mention it, which means she's going to grow up in that relationship with some assumptions. Well, he seems nice, I assume he's this or that. Well, what she needs to do when she's talking about choosing Western men and being smart about it is she needs to ask good questions. Now, on my Love Beyond the Sea playlist, there's one about questions to ask a Filipina. There's one with a host of questions right away to break the ice. There's another one, I guess, to get them to know them more better. Now the ice is broken, you start going a little bit deeper with your questions. Another one with questions for when you're ready to propose to her, because it's all about getting information. Another one even after you're married. And I admit I didn't ask my wife a whole lot of questions that I can remember because we got married in only 54 days. But we're still married now, 8 years later. But I did know, I had not been married before, neither had she. So, I knew some things because I asked, or I just volunteered right away myself. Well, this is something I'm not proud of, or whatever. And so, then we would talk about our past and how we wanted to get past that and move on. But I encourage the Filipinas, since they're the ones men are going thousands of miles to meet, to ask questions. And don't be afraid to say, well, what can you tell me about your previous marriage? What can you tell me about, how it ended? What can you tell me about your relationship with your children? What is your relationship with your former spouse now? What have you learned from the divorce? Those are hard questions to ask. If you're concerned about hurting the other person's feelings, but as a Filipina, if you're interested in making sure you don't make a bad choice and ending up having to call the Commission for Filipinos Overseas and get help for a bad marriage, then you want to ask really good questions. And if the Western man is turned off, offended, bothered by that line of questioning, then you just saved yourself a lot of time and heartbreak. Just move on. So I don't like to give advice to women, but this is just general advice that I would give to anybody, Western women, Western men. Before you get married, find out about that man or woman. Ask every question you can. That's your job, to ask questions and get answers and find out what they're really like. And you'll learn a lot about how they respond to your questions. So that's all I want to talk about here today on this one. Please let me know your experiences or your comments. Am I going too far, prying too much into somebody's past when before getting married? Do you just let it go? I don't think so. Let me know what you think here on Love Beyond the Sea.